Hello students, welcome to another session of Master Mains PYQ. Today we will be discussing another question of 2023 GS paper 1. Today is the first question. The first question came from the Indian culture part, and in Indian culture it was a part of society and culture. Society and culture. Okay. Seeing the first question, it was explain the role of geographical factors towards the development of ancient India. Okay, so it wants you to connect the geographical factors, and how important a role it played in the history of ancient India. Okay, so one way of introducing it is just saying like geography played a very important role. Okay, it in the historical context. Okay, another important phrase that you can use here is that geography, okay, the geographical features, the mountains, the rivers, were not were not just spectators, were not spectators in what was going around in the Indian subcontinent, but were active participants. Okay, this is a good statement. Okay, it shows you, it will reveal the evaluator that you know how important a role geography has played in the historical development. Okay, next we see in the introduction, in the body part. Okay, in the body part you see there are two methods of going about this question. Okay, one is a temporal method, temporal analysis. Herein what you can do is you can take a particular geographical features, like say mountains or rivers, and then you can trace the impact that particular feature has had across the time. Okay, another method is the chronological method, chronological analysis. Here what you do is that you take up a time period, okay, and then you say what was the impact of geography on the development of this particular time period. Okay, so second method I believe is easier to do than the first method, because you study the rise and falls of empires and rise and falls of empire in the chronological aspect as well. Like what were the reasons for the rise of say Mughal Empire, reasons for the rise of say Indus Valley civilization. Okay, so we'll be in this video we'll be taking the second approach and seeing the chronological analysis. Okay, so starting with first, we see in ancient India, as in the study of ancient India, the first thing that comes is the Indus Valley civilization. Indus Valley civilization. Okay, currently the term also is used is Saraswati civilization, something like that. Okay, so here the territory of this civilization was around this one. Okay, it's a very rough estimate. Okay, so we see what are the factors that led to the development of Indus Valley civilization, geographical factors specifically. So we see the first factor was that it was enclosed. Okay, it had mountains. Okay, it had mountains protecting it from the north, and a vast desert. Okay, and desert. Okay, next, an important factor was the availability of rivers. Okay, you see when you see the Indus Valley sites, okay, almost all of the sites can be traced to some river. Okay, some rivers have dried up, they are not available, they cannot be seen as of today, but geological analysis has revealed that there was a river in that point of time there. So you see the rivers played a very important role in the development of those areas, those civilizations, those sites. Okay, then we see the impact of natural resources like khetri mines. Okay, khetri mines of Rajasthan. It started giving out copper in that time. That was a Chalcolithic period. So copper was the very important material of that time. So it helped the development of Indus Valley civilization. Another important geographical factor was availability of a fertile land. Okay, the land was very fertile and which supported large number of populations. Okay, like then a rough estimate of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro reveals that it had a population somewhere between 50,000 and 70,000. Okay, so that amount of population, population can be sustained only on a very fertile land. Okay, so we see the first point, the Indus Valley civilization, on how geography contributed towards its development. Okay, next, as we move chronologically, next comes the Vedic age. Next comes the Vedic age. So the expand of Vedic age can be roughly estimated like this area. Okay, so we see the passes. Okay, the passes, Khyber Pass, Bolan Pass. Okay, these passes allowed for the advent of Aryans. Okay, passes allowed advent of Aryans. Okay, you will see the presence of forests. These areas were mostly forested areas, and that helped the development of tribal life. Okay, you will see early Vedic period, the society was mostly tribal. Okay, it was herding and gathering, and agriculture developed slowly. Okay, next we see it expanded because of the fertile land. Slowly, if you see the chronological development, you will see the civilizations, the settlements moved eastwards. Okay, because of the fertile lands available there. Okay. Next, we see as people moved eastwards. Okay, they found for iron deposits. Okay, you will see Iron Age came to India late. Iron Age came to India around 1200, 1300 BC. Okay, that was a time of the early Vedic civilization. So with iron, with development of iron, as iron was discovered, the forest, clearing the forest became easier. Okay, and the Vedic people began clearing out forests to make way for agriculture, which became a sustainable source of the society and of economy in the Vedic period. Next phase, if we see, was the post-Vedic. Post-Vedic, or you can call it the Magadha Empire, the rise of Magadha Empire. The area of Magad started from this region. Okay, but later when it was taken up by Mauryans, when Mauryans came to the Magadha Empire, they expanded the territory. Well, here, this was the rough territory of the Magad, of the Mauryans. That was the largest territory India had ever seen. Okay, so this area, the advent the geographical factors that helped in the establishment of Magadha Empire were, its first capital was Rajgir. Okay, Rajgir has a very strategic location because it was surrounded from hills on all three sides. Okay, next the capital was shifted to Patliputra. Okay, so Rajgir, you can see mountains. It was shifted to Patliputra. Why? Because it was also a very strategic location because of presence of rivers. Okay, so attacking there was very difficult. Okay, laying a siege to it became very difficult. Next, the huge fertile basin. Okay, we see finally as we started moving after the Indus Valley civilization, we started moving eastwards, and now we are in the Ganga Yamuna basin. Okay, arguably the world's most fertile land. Okay, so here because of fertility of land, okay, the economy got a boost, the populations got a boost. Okay, next we see as because we were moving eastwards, we are clearing forest areas. The forest provided resources like timber. Timber was very important resource of that time because all the construction, it was a most important construction material. Okay, there is a mention, Megasthenes mentions very grand palace built by Ashoka, which was made of wood. Okay, and in Arthashastra you will find that because the city was made of wood, okay, lighting a stray fire was punishable with death penalty. Okay, you see how important the wood was as a construction element, as a element of construction at that time. Okay, next we see the forest with timber also gave elephants. Okay, elephants are very important because it was the they were the workhorses, power behind the Nanda Empire. The history records that Alexander's army was afraid because they had seen war elephant for the first time in India, and when they heard that the Nanda Empire had thousands of war elephants in their army, okay, they shivered. Okay, it was one of the reasons they pulled back. Okay, so the forest gave the access to elephants as well. So we see these are the factors, these are the geographical factors which helped the development of Mughal Empire. Next, we'll be moving south because these factors also helped in later empires. Okay, Gupta, the factors behind Gupta Empire in the later Harsha's Mokhari Empire were more or less similar. Okay, next we should move down south. When we move down south, we see the empires there, which were Cholas, Cheras, and Pandyas. Cholas, Cheras, Pandyas. Okay, so you see what were the factors, geographical factors behind the rise of these empires. Okay, so 4 southern empires. Southern empires. Okay, the Western Ghats, the Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats, which were there, provided them a very strategic location. Okay, Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats provided a very strategic location. The number of rivers and the amount of rainfall it received in the monsoon made the area very fertile. Okay, next we see the tropical environment. The tropical environment gave way for the cultivation of spices. Spices were very important element of international trade at that time. Okay, pepper was called Yavan Priye. Okay, and it was the only spice which was traded only against gold. So spices like pepper saw the influx of gold in India. Okay, the Romans used to bring gold from their empire, from their home, just to buy spices and specifically pepper in India. Okay, next we see geographical barriers. So what happened is that the geographical barriers provided by Vindhyas, Satpuras, Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats helped development of the Sangam culture. The southern south began to develop a very distinct culture because of the restrictions or geographical barriers provided by it. Okay, so we see how the geography played an important role in the development of different empires across the time. Okay, in conclusion, we can write how distinct geography, okay, led to the diversity of India. Okay, India is very diverse. Diversity of India because of the diversity as in linguistic diversity, okay, religious diversity, ethnic diversity. Okay, you can say that this kind of diversity in India is because the geographical factors. Okay, because the wide range of geographical factors and wide range of geography that provided a distinct development, different kinds of different kinds of initiatives for different empires to develop. This will be it for today. We will be meeting you with another lecture. Thank you.